Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Super Robot Chogokin Majin Emperor G. Majin Emperor G comes from the 2017 game Super Robot Wars 5. After a fierce battle against an uncontrollable Mazinger Zero, Tetsuya, the pilot of Great Mazinger, self-destructs in an effort to stop Mazinger Zero. Tetsuya's efforts were in vain. The explosion had no effect on Mazinger Zero. Just before all hope is lost, Majin Emperor G appears and Tetsuya begins to pilot the new powerful super robot fueled by both photon and getter energy. Now, Tetsuya may have the power to stop Mazinger Zero. Now, I have not played Super Robot Wars 5, so I can't give a recommendation on it. Based on the clips I've seen of the game, it definitely looks very cool. If you've played Super Robot Wars 5, let us all know how it is in the comments below. Super Robot Chogokin Majin Emperor G is another fantastic release in the Super Robot Chogokin line. Majin Emperor G has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. Let's jump right into it and take a look at Majin Emperor G himself. Majin Emperor G has a fantastic range of articulation. First, let's start with the head. We can look up, down, left, right. The shoulders have a great range of rotation. They can move in and out, giving Majin Emperor G the ability to reach across his chest. The shoulders can rotate a full 360 degrees. The arms can come up 90 degrees initially. If we flip up this hatch here on the top of the shoulder, we can actually increase the range of motion in the arms, which is definitely very cool. So now we can reach up higher than 90 degrees, even though this looks pretty crazy. We have very nice ratcheting, double jointed elbows. The forearms can swivel. The fists are on ball joints, so we can tilt and spin these freely. Moving on to the upper chest, we have the Great Blaster Fin, which is actually on a ball joint and a hinge. This gives us the ability to move the Great Blaster Fin out of the way as we move the arms and shoulders, which is definitely very cool. Now, something to note, you definitely want to move the Great Blaster Fin out of the way while you're posing the arms. If you look closely at my figure's left shoulder, you can see where I actually scratched up the gold band. This came from me posing the arms without moving the Great Blaster Fin out of the way first, so do be mindful of that. For the upper chest itself, we can lean forward and backward. Moving out to the waist, we can lean forward, backward, twist side to side, and lean side to side. Moving on to the legs, we can kick forward this much, backward this much, and out to the side this much initially. If we pull down on the hip joint, now we can kick further forward, further backward, and more out to the side, which is definitely very cool. We have a thigh swivel. We have very nice double jointed knees. The feet can tilt and swivel, but also if we pull down on the ankle joint, we can actually increase the range of motion in the feet. Majin Emperor G has a very nice solid and sturdy feel thanks to his die-cast parts. Here are the die-cast parts from what I can tell. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, Majin Emperor G is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have the head. At the top of the head, we have the Brain Condor. Now, when it comes to Majin Emperor G, I'm not sure if it's still called the Brain Condor, but for this review, let's call it the Brain Condor. The Brain Condor has a fantastic sharp mechanical sculpt with a vibrant red paint up for the body, a metallic blue paint up for the cockpit, and an orange accent just below the cockpit. The helmet has a nice robotic sharp sculpt with a metallic silver paint app. On the sides of the head, we have our 4 sharp metallic gold horns. The face has a great sculpt with a cobalt blue paint app. The eyes have a nice angular sculpt with metallic gold paint app and black pupils. The mouth guard has a gunmetal paint app with nice vents. The neck also has a gunmetal paint app with various panel lines. Moving down to the chest, we have the massive Great Blaster Chest Fin with a sharp sculpt and a vibrant red paint app. The chest itself has a very nice glossy black paint app. The collar has a metallic gold paint app with several impressions. Just below the collar, we have a metallic blue accent. The shoulders have a large sculpt with gold band accents. The biceps have a metallic silver paint app, while the elbow joints have a metallic gold paint app. The forearms have a fantastic robotic sculpt with a cobalt blue paint app. The fins on the forearms have a glossy black paint app. The abs and thighs have a metallic silver paint app, while the waist has the same glossy black paint app as the chest with a metallic blue accent in the center. The legs have an awesome robotic sculpt. The body of the legs has a cobalt blue paint app. Going around the legs and coming down the center of the shins, we have a glossy black accent. Right at the knees, we have a metallic gold accent. The feet follow the same pattern as the legs with the glossy black accent going over the toes. As a whole, Mazin Emperor G turned out to be absolutely fantastic. The sculpt and paint apps are sharp and clean, the articulation is fantastic, and there is a great amount of die cast in this figure. I really think this is an awesome figure. Now, I can't wait to pick up Mazinger Zero. Hopefully, I can also get a chance to play Super Robot Wars 5 and experience Mazin Emperor G firsthand. Now, let's take a look at the accessories. Mazin Emperor G comes with 6 hands, 1 Emperor Sword, 1 Great Blaster effect part, 1 Emperor Auriel, and 1 accessory stand piece. First, let's start with the hands. Mazin Emperor G comes with a pair of open hands, a pair of holding hands, and 1 Thunderbolt Breaker hand. Each of the hands have a fantastic robotic sculpt with a cobalt blue paint app. The hands attach via ball joints. When removing the hands, hold close to the wrist joint so the pressure is on the hand and not the wrist joint itself. Once you remove the fists, attach the desired hand combination to match your favorite dynamic pose. Next, we have the Emperor Sword. The blade has a large smooth sculpt with a metallic silver paint app and a metallic blue accent near the tip. The base of the sword has a sharp sculpt with metallic gold and gunmetal paint apps. The handle has a copper paint app with a metallic blue accent at the end of the handle. Also included are what I think are wrist supports. If I'm understanding the instructions correctly, these pieces help support holding the Emperor Sword. To attach, simply slide them over the wrist joints with the protruding side pointing towards the body and then attach the hands. Once attached, I just leave them on so you don't really have to continually swap these out when changing hands. The Emperor Sword is held very firmly by the holding hands. Now, with the Emperor Sword in hand, Mazin Emperor G can cut down his foes. Next, we have the Great Blaster effect part. The Great Blaster effect part has a large sculpt with various semi-translucent energy streams coming from it. The body of the effect part has a vibrant red paint app that becomes semi-translucent yellow as we reach the energy streams. The Great Blaster effect part attaches via a ball joint. Now do be careful when swapping out this part. You want to make sure you do not scratch your figure or break the fins. Now, with the Great Blaster effect part attached, Mazin Emperor G can blast his foes. Next, we have the Emperor Auriel, which acts as Mazin Emperor G's Scrander. The Emperor Auriel has an awesome cape-like sculpt with a sharp sculpt at the top. The cape pieces have a glossy red paint app on the inside and a glossy black paint app on the outside. The boosters have a metallic silver paint app, while the sharp portions at the top have a metallic gold paint app. The Emperor Auriel does have some articulation. We can spread the cape pieces out, and also the top portion can fold in and out, which is pretty cool. The Emperor Auriel attaches via the universal crossover joint. Now, with the Emperor Auriel attached, Mazin Emperor G can take to the skies. Finally, we have the accessory stand piece. To attach, simply plug it into Mazin Emperor G's lower waist, and that's it. Now, we have a means to support Mazin Emperor G in both dynamic and flying poses. Now, if you are an avid collector of the Super Robot Chogokin line, you can make use of the Universal Crossover Joint system and give Mazin Emperor G some very cool upgrades. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. To conclude the review, Super Robot Chogokin Mazin Emperor G is another fantastic release in the Super Robot Chogokin line. Mazin Emperor G has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. I absolutely recommend this figure. Now, I have not played Super Robot Wars 5, so I can't give a recommendation on it. If you guys have played Super Robot Wars 5, please let us all know how it is in the comments below. This has been another review by Diego Doom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. To see the unboxing of this figure or more Super Robot Chogokin reviews, click the links on screen. Be sure to follow me on social media, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe.